NYIT is a community service of the New York Institute of Technology.
Covering the news of Nassau and Suffolk County's Long Island News Tonight with Ken Eckhart, Carol Peck, and the award-winning LI News team.
Good evening. I'm Ken Eckhart, and here's what's happening. A Long Island man has been charged with stalking a woman and her family for 3 years because he had a romantic interest in her. But officials say the 49-year-old Miller Place woman was married with a child and wasn't interested. For 3 years, police say 37-year-old Joseph Matthews of East Patchogue stalked and harassed the woman with inappropriate emails and phone calls, and always managed to evade police detection. He was finally arrested Wednesday after the woman agreed to meet with him at a Medford Starbucks that police had under surveillance. Matthews has been charged with stalking, aggravated harassment, and with resisting arrest. A home burglary suspect ended up leaving behind a pretty obvious clue for police who were investigating the break-in. Nassau County Police say the suspect opened the front window of a home in Newcastle back in 2009, then took the victim's property right off the kitchen table, which was under the window. When police arrived to investigate, they say they found a bloody tissue on the kitchen table, and the DNA analysis of the blood on that tissue matched a sample on the New York State DNA Index system. 25-year-old Armando Zarate of Uniondale was arrested at his job in Westbury yesterday, and he's been charged with burglary. Well, if you see an animal being abused or neglected in Nassau County, the District Attorney's Office now has a hotline you can call to help that animal get the medical attention it needs. Zavera Titler reports.
Looking at Noelle, it's hard to imagine that just 2 months ago, this adorable dog could barely walk and was on the verge of dying. But with the help of Nassau County District Attorney's Office, Noelle has been given a second chance to live.
Success stories. We received a tip, we found her, we've nursed her back to health, and she can be a great pet for some family who wants to introduce a pet into their home for their children.
Rice is talking about a 24-hour animal cruelty unit and hotline she created that staffs specially trained prosecutors and investigators who receive tips about animals that have been abused or neglected. The animals are taken to shelters like the Animal Lovers League, where they receive care and medical attention until they are adopted.
It gives our community watchdogs and our veterinarians the opportunity to step in and put a stop to these situations.
So if you see any situation that's bringing any harm to any of these animals, please call the hotline so you can save precious animals like Noelle. But not only will calling this hotline save animals, Rice says phone calls to the animal cruelty unit can also be leads to other non-related crimes.
And very often what you see is when you see an instance of animal abuse, very often that can be an indicator for other kinds of crime like domestic violence or child abuse or gang violence.
And Rice says the hotline has proven to be more than helpful.
We have had an enormous response, over 700 phone calls that we have received. We have more than quadrupled the number of cases that we've been able to do, and we are sending the word out that animal cruelty is going to be treated seriously here in Nassau County.
So seriously that Rice says she's determined to make aggravated cruelty a violent felony offense. To report animal abuse, call 516-571-ACHL. In Glen Cove, Zavera Titler, LI News Tonight.
Nassau County Police are asking for the public's help in connection with an unusual incident that a witness reported seeing. Police say the female told police she had seen 4 men get out of a van in Elmont, approach a female pedestrian, put her into the van, then drive off. It happened yesterday around 8 in the morning at 116th Road and 240th Street in Elmont. There was little description of the 4 men. The van was described as white with tinted windows and lettering on the side, possibly including the word gardening. Anyone with information that could help police is asked to call Nassau Police Crime Stoppers at 1-800-244-TIPS. And police say they're still not sure if a crime was committed. Well, the season will soon be changing, and all the signs are here. Even though spring doesn't begin for another week, we'll be springing forward this weekend when we turn the clocks ahead Sunday morning for daylight saving time. Until 2007, we waited until the first Sunday in April to turn our clocks ahead, but then Congress passed the Energy Policy Act, moving daylight saving time up to the second week in March. While many traditionally forget to change their clocks, students at New York Institute of Technology in Old Westbury know just what they have to do this weekend.
Turn the clocks ahead 1 hour.
I'm supposed to change my clocks forward?
Spring ahead. Set the clocks ahead an hour.
Turn my clocks ahead for daylight savings.
And the 21st annual Flower and Garden Show is now in bloom at Hicks Nurseries in Westbury. The show opened today with beautiful displays of plants and flowers designed to inspire Long Islanders. There are gardens designed to turn your backyard into an event, with displays showing what homeowners could do to get their yards ready to host a wedding, a 4th of July barbecue, or even a luau.
How to entertain in their gardens. People tend to spend a tremendous amount of time in their gardens as outdoor rooms, actually, in the spring and summer months. They do a lot of entertaining, and there's nothing better than sitting out in the garden and having a little fire, and having beautiful lighting and wonderful plants that are accent lit, and enjoying the evening or daytime with your friends.
The show is free and is open daily from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. and it runs through the first day of spring next Sunday, March 20th. It was an up day on Wall Street today. The Dow finished up 59 3/4 points. NASDAQ is up over 14.5 points. And the S&P was up over 9 points. NYIT's LI News Tonight continues after this.
Center in Old Westbury on Wednesday, March 16th at 5:30 p.m. For more information, call 516-686-7567. Celebrate St. Patrick's Day at the Ward Melville Heritage Organization in Stony Brook on Wednesday, March 16th at 5:30 p.m. For more information, call 631-689-5888. Spend a day at the beach planting seagrass to help stabilize the dunes at Tobay Beach in Massapequa on Saturday, March 19th at 10 a.m. For more information, call 516-677-5748 or learn how to use Google Earth to research your family history at Brentwood Public Library on Saturday, March 19th at 10 a.m. For more information, call 631-273-7883. If you have an event you'd like included on the LI News Tonight community calendar, send it to linewstonight@nyiT.edu.
In Melville, J.B. Buno, LI News Tonight.
In Bethpage, Stephen Katove, LI News Tonight.
At Belmont Park, Sophia Allen, LI News Tonight.
These are just a few of the people who have been reporting the news for LI News Tonight over the past year, and you could be one of them. Television news is an exciting and challenging career that could put you in the middle of what's happening and in touch with the people who are making the news. A career in television news journalism can offer you the opportunity to work as a reporter, camera person, or videotape editor, or any number of behind-the-scenes jobs, including producing or manning the assignment desk. And it's a career that can be yours by joining the LI News Tonight news team. Produced at studios on the campus of the New York Institute of Technology, LI News Tonight offers television news internships that can earn you college credits and the possibility of being on the air in just a few weeks. LI News Tonight has been the jumping-off point for many local and national news professionals, and you could be next. Call 516-686-7952 for more information on how to enroll for LI News Tonight, and let us put you on the air. Well, our top headline from around the world today: major damage reported in Japan from an earthquake and tsunami that have left hundreds dead. The 8.9 quake and 23-foot tsunami were followed by more than 50 aftershocks, many more than 6.0. The Japanese Coast Guard says a ship carrying 80 dock workers was swept away when the tsunami struck. Dozens of cities and villages along 1,300 miles of coastline were shaken by tremors that reached Tokyo, hundreds of miles from the epicenter. And thousands were evacuated near a nuclear power plant after its cooling system failed. Tsunami waves up to 7 feet hit Hawaii, but no major damage was reported. Scientists say this quake ranks as the 5th largest jolt in the world since 1900. A South African official says ousted ex-president Jean-Bertrand Aristide will return to Haiti within days after 7 years in exile. Aristide will reportedly return before the country's presidential runoff vote in 9 days, even though Haitian and U.S. officials have said that Aristide's presence could disrupt the vote. 3 weeks ago, thousands of Aristide supporters protested in Port-au-Prince, the capital, threatening to disrupt the election if he were not allowed to return home. Aristide fled Haiti in 2004 as rebels approached the capital. And Bob Dylan has been cleared to perform in Beijing amid worries that the Chinese government would block his planned shows because of the American folk icon's anti-establishment reputation. China's Ministry of Culture said in a notice posted on its website yesterday that Dylan will be allowed to perform in Beijing in 3 weeks. The website of a Dylan fan magazine reported that Dylan would be performing in Beijing and Shanghai, although the Chinese Ministry of Culture didn't immediately post approval for the Shanghai show. A new study suggests women drinking at least a cup of coffee every day might lower their risk of a stroke. Women in the Swedish study who drank a cup or more of coffee daily had a 22 to 25% lower risk of stroke compared to those who drank less coffee or none at all. But doctors say the study shouldn't send non-coffee drinkers running to their local coffee house. The study doesn't prove that coffee reduces stroke risk, only that coffee drinkers tend to have a lower stroke risk, and it's not clear why. The study followed about 35,000 women for about 10 years. Results of the study were published online yesterday in the American Heart Association's journal, Stroke. A California high school student visiting the Golden Gate Bridge on a field trip reportedly climbed over a railing, jumped, possibly on a dare by fellow classmates, and somehow survived the 220-foot plunge into San Francisco Bay that kills dozens of people every year. Most jumpers die a grisly death with massive internal injuries, broken bones, and skull fractures. Some die from internal bleeding, while others drown. But the 17-year-old lived yesterday, suffering just a broken tailbone and torn lung. The youth was rescued by a surfer, and a school spokesman said he doesn't think the teen was trying to commit suicide. Well, after all of last night's rain, we had a few lingering showers this morning, then a mix of sun and clouds this afternoon. The high was in the mid-50s. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low in the upper 30s. Tomorrow should be partly cloudy, a high in the mid-50s. Sunday, partly cloudy, a high around 50. Monday, mostly sunny with a high in the mid-40s. And the outlook for Tuesday, partly cloudy with a high in the upper 40s. And that's it for NYIT's LI News Tonight. I'm Ken Eckhart. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again on Monday. Have a good weekend.